This is the evidence dropping one by one. We are the Presidential Tribunal and the Appeal Court waiting for the proceedings to commence by 2 p.m. You can see the packs of evidence. Is being dropped one after the other, and more are still coming. Thank you.
Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria, on Monday, June 5th, presented more boxes from EC8A containing certified true copies of result sheets from 8 states in the country in his bid to show that the result of the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria was manipulated in favor of the candidate of the ruling party, the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is what we are going to talk about now. What happened in the court on Monday. And we also look at the propaganda of the APC against Peter Obi, even as the man shows continuous determination to prove that he is the one that won the election that were held on February 25. So that's what we're going to look at right now. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now let's go. On Monday, June 5th, Peter Obi brought more exhibits from 8 states in the country, which was accepted as exhibit. He tendered it at the court. Now, the exhibits Peter Obi tendered on Monday were from Delta State. The 8 states include Delta State, where he tendered the result of 25 local government areas. Nasarawa State, 13 local government areas. Ebonyi State, 13 local government areas. Kaduna State, 23 local government areas. Imo State, 27 local government areas. Ondo State, 18 local government areas. Sokoto State, 7 local government areas. And Kogi State, 21 local government areas. The documents, mainly from EC8A election results from polling units, were admitted as exhibit by the court. The court accepted them as exhibit. Any other thing you had any other place through the propaganda machine of APC, any other thing that tells you or that it was not accepted as exhibit, it's a lie. It was accepted as exhibit. But INEC, represented by Abdulaziz Sani, objected to the admissibility of the documents. Mr. Mike Ibokwe, who represented Tinubu and his deputy, Kashim Shettima, also opposed the admissibility of the document. So these are the people that oppose the admissibility of the document. Despite their opposition to the admissibility of the documents, the court, in its wisdom, admitted it as exhibit, admitted what Peter Obi and Labour Party presented as exhibit. And it is a very good development. Steadily and quietly, the process is going on fine for Peter Obi in terms of producing evidence that he won the election and that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was rigged in, that his election was flawed. He was not duly elected based on the evidence that Peter Obi is presenting. Now, while this thing is going on in the courts, there is a lot of propaganda against Peter Obi. Okay? You hear some headlines, misleading headlines like Peter Obi is deceiving Nigerians in courts and should withdraw his petition. These are one of the trending headlines by papers and media organizations that are obviously sponsored by Tinubu and the APC. Peter Obi lawyers are not ready and only interested in his money. That's the kind of things that propaganda they are using. Despite all the progress that Peter Obi is making in the courts, they want you to have the impression that nothing is happening there in favor of Peter Obi. Another one is that you are wasting the time of this court. Tribunal tells Peter Obi. Peter Obi is deceiving Nigerians. He's deceiving Nigerians and only extorting money from them for a court adventure he knows he has no case. These are more headlines of outright lies and propaganda. They are all over the place and they are emanating from the same sources that before February 25th election. These are the same people that were saying that Obi has no structure and only deceiving Nigerians that call themselves obedience. These are the same people that were saying that Obi cannot even win Anambra State and he wants to be president. These are the same characters that were saying that when jungle mature, obedience will scatter. These are the same characters who say that obedience are just 4 people tweeting from one room. All this propaganda, despite all this propaganda, Peter Obi won 11 states, 11 states and the FCT. 11 states and the FCT, not to mention that he amassed over 25% in several states in the face of intimidation, harassment of his supporters, and attacks in which some people lost their lives. On a serious note, you know that the Labour Party senatorial candidate in Enugu State was killed. And in Lagos State, you know how Labour Party supporters were brutalized and ethnically profiled. And against all odds, despite all this negative media, people that were saying that he cannot be able to even win Anambra State were shut up when he won Lagos State with a wide margin, but with rigging and alteration of results, the margin was narrowed so that it appears as if Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a competition in Lagos. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from the result that even the PDP are bandying about, was defeated by a wide margin. And if you go by the result that the PDP had of what was the actual result of Lagos State, Asiwaju did not get 25% in Lagos State. But this is a man that they say that he doesn't have structure. that he cannot even win Anambra State, talk more of winning Southeast or within any zone. But his dominance was total. And I keep saying it. If not for rigging, Peter Obi locked down South, South, and Southeast, greater part of the Middle Belt, and was neck to neck with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Southwest. The opinion polls that was done at that time was so accurate that but for the rigging, Peter Obi won this election on the first ballot. On first ballot. I tell you for free. All those opinion polls that you saw that was done by We Together Foundation, ANA Foundation, Bloomberg, CNN, all those opinion polls, they were accurate. They were so accurate that it's amazing. But for the rigging that was done, it will be without structure, but with the people's support, won on first ballot. And you can see that Peter Obi won in all these strategic states that hitherto, if you win those states, you are home and dry. Nobody can challenge you. We know that winning Lagos, winning Rivers State was enough for Peter Obi to have won the election. Of course, you know that in the Rivers State case, it was allegedly rigged in favor of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because even Asiwaju himself must be surprised that they say he won Rivers State. He knows that there is no way under the sun he could have won Rivers State in a free and fair election. Already now, the BBC has taken its time to retabulate the result of Rivers State and found out that Peter Obi won. Premium Times have also done similar retabulation of the result and discovered that Peter Obi won. So Peter Obi won where it mattered most, Lagos, Rivers. If you win these two states, you are winning the presidency. And this is the first time in the history of Nigeria that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu or anyone, that someone will win Nigeria's presidency. He didn't win Kano, he didn't win Lagos, he didn't win Rivers State. Forget about the allocation of Rivers. He didn't win Rivers State based on the result we are seeing now. So how did Asiwaju win? Why? What are they waiting for? To upload all the results to the INEC since February 25 to show us how Asiwaju won the election. Why are they still hiding the result? So you can see that with all their propaganda against Peter Obi, they ought to have known this man, that he has a special grace following him in politics. If they were surprised that he was able to pull off what he did, because this thing that you see Peter Obi doing now, presenting all these results, is to show that the manipulation of the election was nationwide. And to also show that when you take all this thing into consideration, if you remove all these padded votes that was given to Asiwaju, including votes in which people were not accredited with beavers, you will know that something is about to happen. Because all those overvoting, all those are votings in many parts of the country, including northern Nigeria in particular, where beavers was bypassed, those results will eventually be cancelled. If we want to be sincere to ourselves and the judiciary want to do justice, it has to be cancelled, because beavers is the only means of accreditation. So overvoting as a result of bypass of beavers is going to prove that the votes were just padded for the ruling party. Now, since Peter Obi took them by surprise, let us assume that they didn't know, but I believe that they know. They know that the opinion polls that were coming out were true. That was why they deliberately did not allow the beavers to transmit the presidential election result on the day of election. They were able to allow the beavers, they were able to release the code for beavers to transmit senatorial and House of Reps results, but they refused to release the code for the transmission of the presidential election result. Because if they had allowed it, what the result that will show will be a replica of what ANAP Foundation, We Together Foundation, Bloomberg Magazine, Bloomberg newspaper of Bloomberg Television, newspaper of the United States, that did opinion poll on the election, before the election in Nigeria. The CNN, all these people, they cannot be liars. They did their homework. They pooled Nigerians and discovered that Peter Obi was the man to beat. What saved the APC was that their refusal, deliberate refusal, which was confirmed by Lai Mohammed, the former Minister of Information, that they deliberately stopped the transmission of the result because they fear that there's going to be an attack. But Amazon Web Services that host INEC said that it's a lie. There was no attack against INEC. It was all made up. And made up for what? To ensure that they abort the emergence of Peter Obi as president. There's no other explanation. I keep telling people, I don't see any other reason why the presidential election was not transmitted. And INEC up to today has not told any Nigerians the real reason why they did that. Because they know that whatever they say will be held against them. So that is why Professor Mahmoud Yakubu and the whole of INEC, they maintain seal lip on the real reason why the presidential election result was not transmitted. They didn't release the code for the transmission of presidential election result, but they were able to release the code for the senatorial and House of Reps. Now, seeing the way Peter Obi beat them in the election, they are still raising shoulder and spreading propaganda against Peter Obi. You would have thought that they would abandon their propaganda by now, but they are still going on with it. Because APC is a product of propaganda itself. So it cannot stay without propaganda. And the leadership lives by propaganda, by deceiving Nigerians. So the point is that the obedience, those who support Peter Obi, they should continue to be excited, to be excited that things are working in Peter Obi's favor. It will be proven. They will continue to expose themselves, even the lawyers of INEC, even the INEC staff, eventually will expose themselves in this court process. Unfortunately for generality of Nigerians, this thing is not being transmitted live. But thank God for some people who are already in court there, who are sending out things through WhatsApp messages and all that, so that we all can keep abreast of what is happening and not being deceived by the propaganda of the government in power. But one thing is clear. You can see that they are telling Peter Obi that his case has no hope, that he should withdraw from the case. If Peter Obi's case has no chance, in fact, the APC themselves supposed to be happy about it. At least they should have been happy that Peter Obi is wasting his money. Why are they now his financial advisors telling him that he's wasting money? But the truth of the matter remains, there are fundamental reasons why they are shaking. There are issues about the way the election was rigged, which are being exposed through all those boxes from EC8A, or certified true copies of the result. So that INEC should come and tell how they arrive at the figures with which they declare Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu the winner of the election. There were also some trending article that Peter Obi and Labour Party lawyers are not tendering documents at the tribunal properly, that they need witnesses to do so. The certified true copy of INEC documents are public documents that can and has been tendered at the tribunal from the bar, and these copies were accepted as evidence by the court, as exhibit by the court. But some people were spreading it. When I first heard it, somebody told me about it. I said, forget about it. It doesn't make sense. Because when you tell me something like that, first I'll ask, what is the source that you get this kind of information? I said, forget about them. When I had the source, I said, forget about them. And that was proven right. All the four respondents, namely INEC, Tinubu, Shetima, and APC, they used to object to the tendering of the form EC8A. But that has not stopped the courts from accepting these results, these exhibits. And in all of them, only INEC has given reason why it's protesting or objecting to the documents. The INEC was saying that the local governments being tendered were strange, as they were not part of the petition. Of course, we all know that the petitioners listed states. States are made up of local governments. It makes the INEC lawyer look unintelligent not to have known that states are made up of local governments. Peter Obi was tendering local governments. So why is he tendering local governments that were not, he was not protesting against their challenging, he was not challenging the result of election from those local governments? Come on. If you look at all these boxes from EC8A, take a look at some of them. You see the states written there. All those states you see there were the states that Peter Obi is challenging the results. Peter Obi has never brought in, there's no box I have seen so far where he brought local governments and states that he's not challenging their results. As a matter of fact, Peter Obi is challenging even much more states than many of us think. But the only thing is, because of time, he has to restrict himself to between 18 and 21 states. If he can be able to present all these ones, it could be enough to convince the justices that he has provided enough evidence to prove his case that he won the election and that Asiwaju was rigged in. So that is how it is in the court. Peter Obi has done so well in terms of presenting his case. So many states from EC8A have been presented to the court, and more will be presented on Tuesday, the 6th of May, so that Peter Obi will bombard them with enough evidence, enough proof that these justices of the court will have no choice but to do justice to him. Okay. Now there's an interesting thing that happened in the courts on Monday too. Okay, which shows that things are working in favor of Peter Obi, and that INEC also knows the truth that Peter Obi, if there's anybody that ought to have been declared the winner of the election, it is Peter Obi. An incident happened in which literally INEC shot itself on the foot. From the report I got from the court, in the course of cross-examination of a PDP witness by INEC lawyer, I think let me get that particular listing and let us look at it. I think I titled it "How INEC Scored Own Goal in Court." How INEC scored own goal, or you can also call it "How INEC shot itself on the foot." So during cross-examination of INEC PDP witness, INEC lawyer asked a PDP witness. He said, the INEC lawyer asked him, "Do you realize Atiku did not get 15% in FCT?" The PDP witness said, "Yes." And the INEC lawyer asked again, "Since he didn't get 25% in the FCT, do you know that he can't be declared president?" Did you get that? The INEC lawyer asked, "Since he didn't get 25% in the FCT, do you know that he can't be declared president?" Then the witness gave him an uppercut answer. He said, "But Tinubu didn't get 25% too, and you people declared him president." Now it shows that, one, INEC itself is aware that Tinubu ought not to have been declared the winner of the 2023 presidential election because he didn't get 25%. For INEC lawyer to ask a witness that question, it means that INEC knows the truth. And INEC decided to do what was wrong and against the Constitution. It means that INEC deliberately violated the Constitution of Nigeria, Section 134, subsection 2B. It's unfortunate that people who carried out this are walking free. And I know ab initio that INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, knows what he's doing. Because for Mike Ngini, former resident electoral commissioner in Akwa Ibom, to on the 24th of February sound the alarm that tomorrow's election that is going to take place in Nigeria, nobody should be declared winner of the election unless the person got 25% in Abuja. So INEC knows that Tinubu ought not to have been declared the winner of the election, and they went ahead and declared him. That is a sad confirmation that INEC deliberately undermined democracy in Nigeria. But I hope that the justices of the appeal court, where the tribunal is sitting, took note of the fact that INEC lawyer has acknowledged that getting 25% is one of the conditionalities for anyone to be declared winner of a presidential election in Nigeria. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.